not for everyone, and I say that respectfully. Today is currently September 22nd, 2025. Now, if the trade don't be got done, my cousin about us, okay. It's not. To the genuine ones only, I truly hope all is well in your end, and I truly hope that you continue to find peace within regards to who gave up on you or overlooked you during your journey. Always be yourself when someone says you don't have potential. And I say that respectfully. You got chicks and dudes casting spells, gang stalking right to left because you understand your vocabulary. Hold on 1 second because you mean well. You actually understood your tags back at the end that you was only standing in your lane. They try to humble you, but disrespect and living your vocabulary. When you spoke up for yourself, they said that hold on 1 second, they gonna humble you. It be the train of thought for me. You understood unconditional love started within. You knew how to respect your neighbor, not to pretend. It be the train of thought for me. How folks try to get you out of character, antagonize you. Didn't matter your race that day when it came to the vocabulary. How they try to dim your light because you didn't have nobody voicing, speaking up for you when it came to your voice. But you was God's voice at the end of it. They would never understand you and get discouraged because God didn't project fear in you. They try to humble you, disrespect you. Those spoke work when it came to your intuition, being a mindset of being, hold on 1 second, low vibration. They wanted you to be insecure. They wanted you to be insecure, or because they was projecting on you at the end of the day. They narrative, hold on 1 second. I don't like that person. Or because someone has a vision. Now, ever trade over me. I don't know what's wrong with these people. How this type of stuff actually happens. You know, knowledge is power. That energy is different. How when God brings you balance to understand the hold on 1 second, unconditional love started within, whether in the storm that they can relate to, is never competition. You know, your vocabulary may not be the same as the average person. You may get lost in certain character traits at the end of the day because someone didn't know how to understand you when it came to being authentic. No, that's the train of thought for me. You ever represented yourself as being authentic? Speaking up for yourself, certain folks was trying to throw sport against you to cause chaos and confusion in your life, or because you spoke up for yourself to understand. Hold on 1 second. I ain't got hate in my vein, neighbor. No, that's the train of thought for me. How this type of stuff actually happens. Always be yourself with no one's intentions. I'm Naya, genuine love respect, and my content is not for everybody, and that's okay. To the genuine ones, I truly hope all is well in your end, and I truly hope that you continue to find peace within regards to who gave up on you or overlooked you during your journey. Today is currently September 22nd, 2025. I would never hurt myself regardless to what man or female is trying to blackmail me against me. And I do not live in fear, and I say that respectfully. I'm Naya, genuine respect, and I'm far from a hater. No other train of thought for me. Always be yourself when someone says you don't have potential. Loving yourself is not a crime. You know, gang stalking is real to your household, and you're not doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing or fame. Always be yourself. I'm far from a hater. I'm not aging no respect. They not to pretend to be authentic. I don't run from my past. No, I take accountability for my actions. Even when folks try to blackmail me. But hold on 1 second. Their conscience is different. Elevation. Always be yourself. Loving yourself, the better yourself, never dim your light. Loving yourself, the better yourself, never dim your light. That ain't just different. Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater, what about you? Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater, what about you? Stop the violence in the community, stop the violence in the community. Always be yourself. I was threatened that my voice ain't gonna matter at the end of the day. Cause I got folks in different tags bracket like my next door neighbor with they bad habits. Didn't matter, they coach at the end of the day. Projected spell work. Hold on 1 second, they was playing with the numbers to not understand I'm actually being woke. They didn't want me to be woke. They want me to be in the mindset of being low vibrational with whole late lies. How I would have to take a couple of people to try to disrespect me. Hold on 1 second, we was on two different levels. Hold on 1 second when it came to energy. I ain't have the energy harvest or someone's energy. I had the potential within me. Hold on 1 second. Confidence is different. Always be yourself. You don't have to know somebody for someone to try to energy harvest off your energy. You don't have to know somebody for someone to try to rob you mentally, physically, spiritually, or financially, or project a hate crime towards you. How folks is plotting all day, how they gonna dim my light. How folks is plotting all day, hold on 1 second, we gonna laugh at your pain because ain't nobody gonna hate you to participate. I don't live in fear and I would never hurt myself. And I say that respectfully. I would never hurt myself good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day, regardless to who's gang stalking me, who's paying this person, paying that person. I'm a woman first, regardless to my sexual orientation, and I say that respectfully. I love myself. And I don't worship the devil good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully, regardless of who's trying to rob me mentally, physically, spiritually, or financially, or who's energy harvesting off me, or who's sending me low vibrational frequencies to try to play with my mental health, not to see me grow up when it comes to being woke. No, I have a trait of it. I don't know what's wrong with these people. But this type of stuff happens in certain folks' vocabulary. Or because they understood unconditional love, they didn't have to play with sport to be authentic. Because you truly had potential, regardless of your moms and your pops wasn't in your life. You knew how to participate, you still respect your neighbor. You brought a seed into this world at the end of the day. They showed them boundaries, self-love. Hold on 1 second. Be your authentic self. When folks said that you ain't got potential, how this type of stuff actually happens. Never pretend to be something you're truly not at the end of the day. Hold on 1 second. Living in fear. Don't ever trade them. Don't ever live in fear. They said teach one to respect the others. They said teach one to respect the others. They said teach one to respect the others. I may not know how to sing, but a flow with God, that's an even exchange. Hold on 1 second, that faith is different. Being authentic. I got folks in different tax brackets throwing sport right to left, but hold on 1 second, my conscience is different. They said I'm whack, I'm corny, I'm a nobody. That dumb B-I-T-C-H, the end, that's get rid of her. Don't ever trade on me. Why would you do that? I love myself now that's in my life. I love myself now that's in my life. I love myself now that's in my life. Thank you, God, for being patient with me. Thank you, God, for being patient with me. Yeah, they tried to humble me, but God protected me. God endured, hold on 1 second, a conscience they can relate to, being authentic. They said the grass ain't greener on the other side, but the folks that's truly fully at the end that's truly woke will understand elevation is different, putting that footwork in. I respect my neighbor, not to project pain. I respect my neighbor on a rainy day. That Hanny says different wasn't sending my neighbor the evil lie, let alone had it lie. Hold on 1 second, sending spell work in a toxic way, hiding behind the lies. Don't ever trade thought for me. You know, someone that's real at the end of the day, they don't got no problem talking with their chest at the end of the day, talking about what they did that day. You know, playing with spell work, dibble and dabble. I ain't got to shortchange you when it comes to your growth. I actually wish the best for you at the end of the day, but you don't understand my conscience. We couldn't relate. No ever trade thought for me. It was more so a fun fact. Being authentic. That remedy is different. You know, growth starts within. Putting that footwork in, they would never understand how you maintain your health. You didn't need no doctor to show you at the end of the day why you wasn't trying to get discouraged because someone was pouring into you. You know, your heavenly mother and father God. We don't worship the devil at the end of the day. Hold on 1 second. We're on 2 different levels. We not pray the same. We may not pray the same, but continue to elevate, butterfly. That energy is different. When the devil had to tell so many lies, how they have it gather of folks in different tax brackets just to discourage you, only to project fear in you. They try to rob you mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. The game stalking was real because of your intuition. You was different. Continue to be authentic. That energy is different. Fall from a copycat, fall from a hater. The energy is different. Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater, what about you? Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater, what about you? Stop the violence in the community. They said I'm an addict, but I was far from that. Heavy the train of thought for me. How folks don't even know you at the end of the day. Trying to allow you to get your free when it comes to your conscience. But hold on 1 second. God allowed me to restore myself to understand that I hit different. And I don't mean narcotics. Hippie the train of thought for me. I'm a vibe within the vibe by myself. You didn't want me to vibe, hold on 1 second, and believe in myself. You want me to be mentally unstable, not to keep it real. All because I spoke up for myself, you thought I was mentally ill. How this type of stuff actually happens. I was the biggest flex to myself. My moms didn't know how to love me. Hold on 1 second, I ain't had mommy and daddy issues. It's the train of thought for me, because when you outgrow the old, they will never understand your vision today. I had to pour into me, I had to lose myself another day. Don't ever trade on me. I got my heavenly mother, my heavenly father, God by my side. They said God ain't real. But I put everything in God's hands when it came to balance that day. You would never understand what I had to overcome when it came to pain. You would never be able to walk a day in my shoes. You try to destiny sight with me. It'd be the train of thought for me. How folks want to fight you because hold on 1 second. You could be yourself. I'm far from a copycat. I didn't have to pretend to be authentic. That's what I got you dibble and dabble with my devices, hacking my device and my accounts and my emails. They trying to shadow ban me at the end of the day. All because hold on 1 second. I'm standing by myself. I'm a child of God. I ain't have to lie to pretend when God was really protecting my mental health. How many times did you dibble and dabble with my food? How many times did you dibble and dabble and say I was a fool? How many times did you have to dibble and dabble to put spoke in front of my door, telling, hold on 1 second, you want me to be insecure? You know, the love started within. How I had folks I didn't even know. All along, they had to pretend to play me close. Only said that they want to see me grow. They want me to be in the mindset of being hold on 1 second, losing myself, not to understand what I was overcoming. Let alone they want me to speak up for myself when I was telling the truth. It be the train of thought for me. I wasn't running from growth. It's a train of thought for me. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. You know, my content is down for everybody, and that's okay, regardless to who's shadow banding me or whatever the case may be, because I was never in competition with the next person. And I say that respectfully. I know how to put respect on my neighbor's name, good day, bad day, or misunderstand day. I know how to give flowers when it's due. But when someone is truly down for you, listen, we not the same. Hey, that's stay your lame name, but straight thought from me. How you had to pay that person to watch my every move like your bad habit. I would have swore up and down that you was a crack at. That's what you're trying to project on me. But the way you flinching at the end of the day, the way you scratching for a next hit at the end of the day, worried about my next move. Hold on 1 second, because I truly had potential. Only because you was your own issue. How you gang stalking somebody and you say they're mentally unstable? How you gang stalking some at the end of the day when they truly mind their business and it was never your issue? You saw potential within someone because they knew how to grow. Understand the hold on 1 second, the weather storm that you couldn't relate to was going within. So you had to dibble and dabble with spirit to make yourself continue to be irrelevant. Now, Evan Trago, what's wrong with these people? How this type of stuff actually happens didn't matter. Tax bracket. We not the same, neighbor. I'm far from a hater. Now, Evan Trago, for me, I don't know what's wrong with these people. Always be yourself. You know, people pick and choose who could talk about God, the devil, spirituality, healing, narcotics, violence. They pick and choose who could talk about these topics at the end of the day. I would never hurt myself. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. Regardless to what next door neighbor or what tax bracket someone's in at the end of the day who has me shadow banned or who's trying to rob me mentally, physically, spiritually, or financially, or whoever's throwing spell work at me. If I'm not for you, you keep it pushing. It's a train of thought for me. How someone will take your kindness to weakness and then you speak up for yourself. They said you're mentally unstable, you're incapable. But you're the ones hacking someone's devices, cloning someone's devices when it came to your crew that day, doing rituals, spell work in a toxic way. But I'm mentally unstable? Hold on 1 second. What happened to your conscience? You the one that really needs straight body jacket if you really get technical. Because ain't no real authentic person at the end of the day is going to have that math actually make them feel like, hold on 1 second, it makes them an issue. You know, making the next person an issue when it comes to their math. Hold on 1 second, ain't going to add up when it comes to the end of the day. Because they only want to pour into themselves and people that's really for them. That's not projecting pain. And folks, it's not for them at the end of the day. They didn't have to pretend to be in their face. They keep it pushing on a rainy day. Now, ever train of thought for me. How you had to hack someone's devices, TVs. You put a name in your book that counts the emails was real. Sending someone spoke in a toxic ways, trying to paint them out to be mentally ill. Then you paint a scene at the end of the day, say that they are act when they was truly fall for me. Because someone was jealous and even at the end of the day, they wanted to dabble and that was someone's narcotics. Hold on 1 second, that sober person been sober for so long at the end of the day. But hold on 1 second, they didn't lose themselves when it came to their own way. And I don't mean narcotics. How someone assumed that somebody wants somebody's food. Now, ever traded thought for me. You know, we outgrow the old, understand the new. First of all, you can have the craziness. This type of stuff actually happens. How when someone makes an assumption trying to ruin your life or your reputation. How someone will project spell work on somebody. But only was what happens to your intuition. You wouldn't want someone to do that to someone that you love or care, let alone you. It be the train of thought for me. But folks, we talking about they real all day. Huh. One thing I never had to do was run from he say, she say. Or they. Now ever train thought for me. I'm not itching to respect that my content is not for everybody. Always be yourself with no misintentions. I do not live in fear, and I would never hurt myself. Regardless to what man is threatening my life. Regardless to what woman is threatening my life. I walk these streets alone. And I do not live in fear. And I say that respectfully. And I would never hurt myself or others around me. You know, gang stalking is real to your household. And you're not doing it for likes, views, or clout chasing or fame. Always be yourself. Being authentic ain't a crime. I wasn't trying to fit. I just want to respect my name. Didn't have to pretend. This is the type of stuff that happens. This is the type of stuff that happens. They said, get your life together. Hold on 1 second. Here you won't. Here you won't. Continue to elevate. That be the train of thought for me. How they don't mean what they say. When it comes to their comprehension, they need to go back to class. And I say that respectfully. Only because, hold on 1 second, the principal never dismissed them mentally. Because at the end of the day, you got instructions from who? Only because you was the devil this whole entire time. Hold on 1 second. We was never in the same school. Now, and the train of me. Oh. Said, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. That be the train of third for me. When you walk away from the devil, they will never understand your intuitions when it comes to growth. Maturing is different. I may not make sense to the average person. Yeah, you said I'm wacky, I'm corny, but hold on 1 second. Haven't you had enough? You dibble and dabble being a follower. What happened to being the leader? It be the train of thought for me. You still acting your shoe size. I thought you was a man at the end of the day talking about your heart. Hold on 1 second. I thought you had one. It's a train of thought for me. Oh, you said that you that woman. It's a train of thought for me. You know, when someone is trying to prosper in life, trying to get out of a situation and treat themselves right, there's always folks like you that's trying to kick the next person down to see them frown. I never had to lie about anything I've been through, and I say that respectfully. Hold on 1 second. I love myself, not to dim my light. I love myself, not to dim my light. I love myself, not to dim my light. Never give up on yourself. They preaching, but the math ain't adding up. And it's just different. Your biggest flex at the end of the day was playing with Sporg in a toxic way. We don't pray the same. I was far from pretending being authentic. I was praying for my neighbor, not against him. Hold on 1 second. Our intuition hits different. You know, gravity hits different when you catching your blessings. A miracle, hold on 1 second. They would never understand your intuition, the innocent person. You know, you wasn't running from your past, overcoming obstacles. They would never understand how true love can truly last. You found you when you least expected. Yeah, you found you when you least expected. It was never for likes and views when you said God that day. The energy is different. Hold on 1 second. God was showing you your way. You had to heal certain childhood trauma. It went into your adulthood. They would never understand how you truly comfortable in your skin. Even when folks in different tags back and throwing spoke on you, they wanted you to be insecure. They wanted you to be mentally disturbed. But hold on 1 second. God was showing you that you was truly worthy. You know how the devil try to shortchange your vision? They don't want you to they don't want your conscience to actually elevate to come when it comes to terms of believing in your faith. You know, God said, come as you are. And as soon as you say that and you go into the wrong room, they quit to judge you all because of who you are. Regardless of your sexual orientation, you wasn't trying to hurt nobody. Didn't have to pretend to be authentic. Hold on 1 second. You actually knew how to prepare for your neighbor, not against them. We ain't the same, regardless if it was a stranger that was truly pretending. You know, because when you walk into certain rooms, you ask God to give you a clear view of who's the devil, who's the enemy. Truly protect me. I know how to be mature at the end of the day to hold that conversation when someone's trying to mislead me wrong. The energy is different. You know, they watch you within watching your every move, but God shows you your best with the end of being comfortable in your skin. They try to project favor on you. The energy is different, regardless of what you've been through. Loving yourself, not to dim your light. They said my voice don't matter. I got folks in different tags back at the end of the day trying to rob me mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. Got my next door neighbor, a whole grown ass man. Didn't matter his tax bracket at the end of the day. Did it matter how tall or short he was? Or her at the end of the day? How tall or short she was? When they was projecting spillwork right at my door to project pain, I was supposed to lose my mama. I was far from crash out. They would never understand. Hold on 1 second. You would never be able to maintain my shoes. Even when you try to destiny swipe with me. You said I was the fool. You know, always be yourself. You know, my content is not for everyone. It's not. You know, that faith is different. Hold on 1 second. It wasn't the glow. It wasn't the fame. It wasn't running from pain. Understanding change. That's all they wanted to talk about at the end of the day. They project that you got mommy and daddy issues, but we ain't the same. You had to grow up so fast, they would never understand your walk of life at the end of the day when it came to your pain. How you have folks playing in your vision, when it came to your energy, they would never understand your conscience. When folks try to poison you to do you wrong, cause chaos and confusion to disturb your peace. He said no child deserves peace. It'd be the train of thought for me. But when that child becomes a child, when that child didn't have to wild out, that child becomes an adult. They would never understand why that child allowed that out, why God allowed that child to show out. you know, be your best self vision of yourself. Never allow someone to determine you who you are when you're not trying to lose yourself. Never allow the pain to hurt you another day. But be patient when it comes to growing. Hold on 1 second. They will never understand that we don't heal the same. Wow. Because childhood trauma is real. Going into adulthood, they would try to paint you to be mentally ill. You overcame so many obstacles, didn't know how to show up for yourself. But who would have knew that God restored you for the right reasons? I may not make sense to the average person, but was I supposed to make sense to you? No. Because God said be authentic. And because God said be authentic, the right people see you, hear you, respect you. Did it matter if they had a degree or not? No. Wow, just like you, neighbor. It was moments in your life where you said nobody heard you. It was moments in your journey. You almost gave up on you. It was moments when you felt like, hold on 1 second. Am I going the right direction? I don't know how to weather this storm. To become my biggest self-vision of myself, only was to hold on 1 second. God wasn't misleading you wrong. Who would have knew that you'd be praying today? Having that bond with God allow you to understand the even exchange. Balance. That challenge you every single day. Balance. That allows you to fail. Balance. That was growth, your intuition. Maturing is different. Acting your body weight, not your shoe size today. They would never understand that you wasn't running from your past. Hold on 1 second. You understand your own weight. And I don't mean narcotics. Wow. As you face your reality, look in the mirror. You're being patient with yourself, understand that, hold on 1 second, I am worthy of change. Not only am I worthy of change, but I do matter. You may not have had your moms and your pops in your life for those moments that you truly needed them to treat you right. Or let alone just for someone just to hear you. Hold on 1 second, you didn't know how to have a voice. Wow. Imagine not having a voice, but you had a voice. But nobody understands you. Even the people around you. Even your peers the same age as you. They think they hear you, but they overlooking you. Because if they do, why would they laugh at you? Until it's a situation, they would never understand. Who would have knew that God was misleading you? I may not make sense to the average person. I may not make sense to the average person. I may not make sense to the average person, but you're worthy, understanding your thinking. Don't overthink yourself, hurting yourself with words. Pouring into the wrong cup, never get discouraged, and I say that respectfully. Hurting yourself because you showed up for somebody. Allowing you to pour into you because God gave you balance. Acknowledgement, hold on 1 second, you are worthy. Because one day God will send the right people into your life. They ain't got to pretend, let alone project spoke on you, let alone rob you mentally, physically, spiritually, or financially. Try to destiny swipe with you. You may not be as gifted as that next person, or you may not be as spiritual as the next person, but you far from a hater. Sometimes you may have had, wow. Wow. It's you. A hater. When a hater walks in the room, trying to change their life around, apologizing for all the lies they had to tell. When a hater walks into the room, misjudging somebody. When a hater walks into the room, maturity is different. Hold on 1 second. You wasn't nobody's fool. You was far from slow. You didn't have to pretend to be authentic. I apologize if you're saying to the innocent person. That ain't just different. Only a real man steps up. And they not doing it for likes and views of cloud chasing or fame. Because you know God was known for sowing to keeping the real. They would never understand the pain that you overcame. The pain that you overcame. The pain that you're still dealing with today. Because it's still a battle at the end of the day. You still don't understand your intuitions. While me, we all are the same. You know, when the right people walk into your life, regardless to where you at in your journey, they see you, they hear you, and they respect you. They're not sending you the evil eye. They're not projecting spore work towards you. It don't matter about your culture. It don't. Because someone that you don't have to know is someone you knew for years. You'd be so surprised someone could just walk into your life and show you that at the end of the day that they could truly care. Someone praying for you. You laughed at someone and they said that God was real. Only why someone wasn't trying to step on your toes, let alone rob you mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, let alone shortchange your vision to hold on 1 second. Someone didn't have to pretend to be authentic. Yeah, they probably wore a mask that day. But they was trying to project themselves, to respect themselves, to reject themselves, to protect themselves from hold on 1 second. The evil lie. You know, because folks would send someone the evil eye and they don't want to know somebody at the end of the day. But that innocent person was never hiding, being authentic. That's something that you're not used to. Someone should being official with you. You're so used to everybody being a norm at the end of the day. You know, lying to you, disrespecting you, not keeping it real. You're normal at the end of the day, real. Only realize, hold on 1 second, when you sit by yourself, you realize how many people that you had around you was truly mentally ill. No, Eva's crazy on me. Oh my gosh, I gotta go. Because that wasn't your norm. It wasn't. It wasn't your norm. But you allowed yourself to outgrow the norm. And what's normal to you, you wasn't misleading yourself wrong. The environment that you was in for so long, the poison, the hold on 1 second, you couldn't allow it to make you sick another day. Because you wouldn't want that projection to be projected on your baby. You know, especially a man that's raising a child, regardless of hold on 1 second. But you overcame when it comes to pain. Because you won't want that projection to be on your child. You know someone from across the room, across town, or on the next continent, or whatever the case may be. You know, if you're a man or a woman, you wouldn't want someone sending your child the evil eye or projecting sport towards your baby. Because the devil's a lie. You know, when you fall from fake, being authentic, they will never understand how you hold your own way. And I don't mean narcotics. How you trying to get yourself together. Got your next door neighbor, different tax bracket, can't even weather their own storm. Telling you every move like a bad habit. When you fall from a criminal, that energy is different. I don't run from my past, but goddamn, God had to show me the devil who I was truly dealing with. And I'm very so much thankful. I will repeat it all over again. And I would tell that judge at the end of the day what I did. He'd be the train of thought me because I don't run from fear. When I ain't have to hurt nobody. I didn't hurt nobody. But my neighbor tried to hurt me. You know when you pray and ask God to reveal the devil on the enemy? It didn't matter its tax bracket. God reveals and God reveals. We don't pray the same. But I don't live in fear. Or am I ashamed of who I am? Naya, genuine love, respect. Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater, what about you? Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater, what about you? Stop the violence in the community, stop the violence in the community. I love to talk about love. I would never hurt myself good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. You know, gang stalking is real. How individuals that you don't have to know, like your next door neighbor, will hack your devices, project spore towards you, energy harvest off your energy, have a hate train towards you when it comes to their emails, their text messages, control your phone calls, your emails. You don't gotta see someone's name at the end of the day when they put spoke at your door so you won't understand and recognize who you are. All because folks want you to be insecure. But hold on one second, the love started within first. Then had to pretend to be authentic, far from a copycat. How folks would gather up in different groups at the end of the day. Just to take that one person, all because someone is to their faith. How they try to rob somebody mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. Even energy harvest off their energy. All because we don't pray the same. Jealousy and envy is real. That don't live in my vocabulary, and I say that respectfully. I truly hope that you find a way to get well and find peace in your lane and leave innocent people alone. Here be the train of thought for me. I never signed up for someone's one-sided ass contract, and I say that respectfully. How folks will make money off of you and won't even put respect in your name. How folks will try to humble you, try to rob you mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. Go to this department of HRA, or go to this department of people that you don't even know, or go to this department of this person, go to this department of that person, or go to this department of this person. Regardless of someone's an entrepreneur or not, how you sit there and tell somebody to get their life together, regardless if they're a content creator or not. And when they start to choose themselves, you're still trying to kick them down. It's a train of thought for me. Being authentic is not a crime, and I say that respectfully. Individuals have me shadow banned. Individuals lied on my name, try to pay me out to be a crack addict, a prostitute, whatever you did. I don't care. But I know who I am, and I'm far from a sex worker, and I'm far from an addict, and I say that respectfully. How folks will project sport on you, or dibble and dabble with your food products, or your drinks, and try to suck at your mental health, and then say that you're mentally unstable. Well, this is your norm at the end of the day. This is what you do. I didn't even want to touch base on this comment at the end of the day, but I'm going to. Because it's disgusting to see that, with a culture, right? A culture. And it don't matter what culture you are at the end of the day. How sister or brother, you sit there and project spell work on somebody. Go to this practitioner, go to that witch, that warlock, or whatever the case may be. You could take that same energy and pour into you. That same blessing at the end that you're trying to project on someone as a curse, you can pour it into you. It's a train of thought for me. You don't like somebody because of what someone told you. You don't like someone because of, hold on one second, because someone overlooked you. It's a train of thought for me. If someone is not for you, you just stay 6 feet apart from them. Thank you, no thank you. I never know it was a crime. Everybody's not the same. Respect's a two-way street. I ain't had to project pain. Now, as a trade, I be yourself with no molesters. I gotta go. My content is not for everyone. Individuals hack my devices, my accounts, my emails, and more. Even clone my devices. And they all work together, and I don't live in fear. And I say that respectfully. I don't. You threatened my life and said nobody's going to hear my voice. You threatened my life and said, because you was able to control a narrative because of your tax bracket of who you know that works in the community, whatever the case may be. My voice doesn't matter. I would never hurt myself, and I'm far from a hate, and I'm far from a copycat. And I say that respectfully. Never give up on yourself when someone doesn't see your worth. Because when God sends the right people into your life, they don't pretend. And they actually respect you. They're not energy harvesting off your energy all alone, projecting sport towards you. I got individuals right now that's hacking my devices, that's gang stalking me, and I never signed up for the one-sided ass contract. Or I got next door neighbors in different tax brackets projecting spell work towards me at the end of the day. And God is revealing everybody at the end of the day. And I do not live in fear. How these same type of people would try to get you locked up or put you in the sideboard and say that you're mentally unstable and say that you're crazy, or try to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, because they have a whole group of people that work in different tax brackets that will go against you. I would never hurt myself when I say that respectfully. I'm far from a hater. I'm nice and respect. When God sends directly into your life, respect the two-way street. I love to talk about love. No, I haven't traded on me. I gotta go. Love is real. Love is one of a kind. With the right one, truly for you. The hand is just different. Someone didn't have to fight for a spot when it came to loving you right. It wasn't overnight someone truly fall in love with when you least expected. Someone didn't have to pretend to be authentic. It was a future. Who would have knew? You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just because moments, someone wasn't trying to misuse you. The energy is different. It wasn't cause. It wasn't no because. You know, because when your past showed you why, because. You ever heard someone say, because I did this, because I did that? This is why I treated you this way. This is why I disrespected you. Because I didn't have the proper love. Someone didn't respect me. Someone did this to me. Because. That wasn't your vocabulary today. Someone was capable, able, and willing to fulfill those shoes when it comes to a future. Who would have knew the love of your life would truly show you that, hold on one second, they was able to weather a storm with you. Someone praying not against you. Someone truly showing you that you didn't need validation. Hold on one second. Because someone's far from pretending. Someone showed you action spoke louder than words, allowing you to see why you actually allowed yourself to heal, to go within. That wound hits different when you actually understood that, hold on one second, your boundaries is different. I loved myself, not to dim my light. You loved yourself for another day, not to dim your light. You know, practice made perfect when it came to your conscious that day. You know, every day moving forward, even when you got lost in your words, even in days that you endured pain, how someone was protecting your heart, let alone your mental health. They ain't had to play with sport to cause confusion in your life to disturb you. It wasn't lust. It wasn't toxic love. Someone truly showed at the end of the day, true love wasn't complicated. They say fairy tales ain't real, but that was the devil's talking. That was nothing but the devil talking. Because when someone truly walks into your life, they don't switch up on you. It just gets better when it comes to a future, a dream come true. Who would have knew that you chose your forever person? You know, someone that's pouring into you, y'all pouring into each other. Someone not misleading you wrong, only was to hold on one second. Someone sees you not to overlook you. Someone loves you to value your time and day. Don't dim your light, don't dim your light, don't dim your light. Especially when God is making it bright. Y'all may not pray the same, but the energy is different. Someone truly allowed you to feel being comfortable in your own skin. They wasn't trying to project insecurity on you. Someone sees you finally. Someone inspects you. So wasn't trying to make you relive what you overcame when it came to get past that day. Someone didn't have to manipulate God when they knew how to value your time. Who would have knew that true love allowed you to feel comfortable in your skin? Only for the love of your life, didn't have to pretend. They was your biggest cheerleader, up close person behind closed doors. Falling in love with the love of your life every single day. They was trying to do you wrong. You gained the love of a best friend, a business partner. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. Someone truly allowed you to heal in the most healthiest way. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. You know, I'm still healing from a hate crime that was done to me. How grown men and women with those spellwork at you at the end of the day, they want to project insecurities on you. They'll put spellwork right in front of your door and then hide their hands. They will group up with people at the end of the day to rob you mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, and say that you're mentally unstable. I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully. No mother or father or loved one should lose a child because someone has a mindset of being jealous or envy or have hate within them. My content is not for everybody, and I would never hurt myself, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding, regardless to what tax bracket you in, that you have me shadow banned or you're hacking my devices or monitoring my every move. I do not live in fear, and I never signed up for someone's one-sided contract. And I say that respectfully. You know, game stalking is real to your household, and you're not doing it for likes of cloud chasing. Never allow a man or a woman to project fear in you when they say that your voice does not matter. Because they will have a whole community go up against you and paint you out to be an addict or paint you out to be something that you're truly not at the end of the day. Or because they're able to control a narrative to get you locked up, put you in a sideboard, and try to blackmail you against you. Because you speak up for yourself because someone decided to take your kindness or weakness. Didn't matter, tax bracket. I'm not aging no respect, and I do not live in fear, and I walk these streets alone, and I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully. You know, when God sends the right people into your life, real men and women, whoever that is that day, they see you, they hear you, they respect you with no misintentions. They're not projecting sport work towards you, energy harvesting off your energy, or even trying to destiny swipe at you, or breaking in and entering where you live at the end of the day. To dibble and dabble with your food and poison you, whatever the case may be, or to project sport work in your household, or bring bugs in your household to paint you out to be something that you're truly not at the end of the day. Or even throw sport work in your household. Or even hurt you. Respect's a two-way street when the right people walk into your life. I will never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully. Regardless who has me shadow banned or not. I would never hurt myself. I'm not aging on respect that I'm far from a hater. I never wanted someone's position in the day. because we don't attract the same people. No, it's a shame. I gotta go. And being authentic is not a crime. How folks will try to blackmail you against you, hack your devices, clone your devices, and paint you out to be part of certain conversations that you was never part of at the end of the day. Or if certain individuals will say that they know you, whatever the case may be, just to blackmail you to get you bring harm towards your way. Or even just to rob you mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, or even energy, harvest off your energy. I would never hurt myself. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect. Have a safe year, day, evening, week, weekend. You matter, you're worthy. Protect your energy, protecting your family. Stay out of trouble. You matter, you're worthy. Peace and respect, your name, master, the you matter, you them, you light. Gotta go there, but they don't them, you light. I would never hurt myself. I'm far from an addict, and I say that respectfully. And I'm far from a sex worker, regardless who's plotting against me at the end of the day. I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully. You know, men and women threatening my life. It's disgusting to see at the end of the day. You don't have to know somebody for someone to threaten your life or for someone to bring harm towards your way. How they recruit different people just to frame you or project negative energy towards you, or they recruit different people to project spoke towards you, or they recruit people to bring harm towards you. How this type of stuff actually happens when they say they want you to be quiet. I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully. You know, gang stalking is real. They will pay individuals like your next door neighbor, don't matter their tax bracket, to watch your every move, tell your next move. When did you come in? When did you go? Or because of the fact that, hold on one second, they said get your life together, but they don't want to see you walk. I would never hurt myself. I walk by faith, not by sight. And I don't worship the devil. My soul was never for sale when I was actually keeping it real. To this day. I'm nice and respect, and I'm far from a hater. Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater. What about you? Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater. What about you? Stop the violence in the community. Stop the violence in the community. I'm Naya, and respect, and I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully.